Hey everyone, here I want to talk about Xbox's new enforcement strike system. So this is a new system that educates players about enforcement severity, cumulative effect of multiple enforcements, and the total impact on their standing. Players can receive a total of 8 strikes. Each strike remains on record for 6 months. Each strike represents in a suspension from Xbox's social features for varying lengths of time. Every player will begin with a blank slate or 0 strikes. Previous enforcements must still be completed. So what this is basically saying is Xbox have a system to, if you're abusive on the system to other players, that you can basically be punished and removed from the social system. And this is an enhanced system to try and explain how it all works and try to stop, I suppose, trolling and nastiness online. So let's see how this works. So it says, the new system attaches strikes to every enforcement ranging in severity based on the inappropriate activity. Each player will now have a view of their own enforcement history, including strikes and their overall impact that this can have on their player record. This revised system gives players a better understanding of enforcement severity and the cumulative effect of multiple enforcements. Enforcement transparency is about giving players clarity into how their behaviour impacts their experience. Our content moderation efforts are not changing as a result of the new enforcement strike system. As always, when a player believes they have witnessed a violation of Xbox's community standards, we encourage them to report. All reports are evaluated. There is no automated enforcement actions based solely on the fact that a report was made. No volume of inaccurate reports results in an enforcement. Only reports that have been reviewed by the Xbox safety team and determined to be accurate result in an enforcement. With the new system, enforcements will also include strikes based on the severity of the actions. The system is similar to demerit strikes used in a driver's license system in many countries. For example, a player that has received 2 strikes will be suspended from the platform for 1 day, whereas a player that receives 4 strikes will be suspended for 7 days. Players have a total of 8 strikes and once reached will be suspended from Xbox's social features like messaging, parties and party chat, multiplayer and others for 1 year from the enforcement date. Yow! All strikes received stay on a player's record for 6 months. Today, players will all begin with a blank slate, like we saw before. Any previous enforcements must still be completed. New enforcements, as of today, will result in strikes. So there's a picture here, and I will put the link in the description of this, but it shows, typical things: profanity, cheating, sexually inappropriate harassment or bullying, hate speech. And these all have a higher score depending on what you do. So hate speech, for example, is rated far higher than, say, profanity. So you can then see on this picture what happens. So the moderator is involved and categorizes it as a profanity or whether it's hate speech or whatever. And the more sort of aggressive the problem, the bigger the punishment, as it were. So it says in 2022, fewer than 1% of all players received a temporary suspension, and only 1/3 of those received a second. Our data shows that players typically stop inappropriate behaviour after 1 enforcement, quickly learning what is and what is not acceptable based on the Xbox community standards and how to better encourage on our platform. The strike system is designed to further empower players to engage positively and appropriately on Xbox and with the community. We'll share data and updates in our biannual transparency report. Below is a visual of what players will see in their enforcement history. So you'll get this little sort of thing here. So it'll say whether you've had any strikes. To avoid consequences, please review these standards. For more information, see this. So you've got these, the community standards link and the enforcement strike FAQ, and it'll tell you what you were in trouble for. So in this case, profanity, you can appeal that. But if you've done profanity, so that's swearing, you'll have this, strike on there. Like before, players will still have the ability to appeal eligible enforcements. Where applicable, if an enforcement is reversed, the corresponding strike will be removed. For more information, visit the FAQ on Xbox support. Below are some additional safety resources: enforcement history, Xbox ambassadors, community standards, Xbox transparency report, how to report a player, and how to submit a case review. So I think we should have a little look at those community standards and just see what that's all about. So that strike system is very much going to be dependent on the community standards and whether you've been reported for something. And, you should be, I suppose, aware of these standards to check whether you're going to get into trouble with, the way you're doing. So it says win or lose, be a good sport. Did someone have a great game? Let them know. You are the community. A little bit of trash talk is okay, but keep it clean. No one likes trolling, so don't do it. So this is, I think, a good thing. You don't want to be abused while you're doing online gaming, and some things can go too far. So you've got a system here that protects you from that. I'd love to know whether you agree with that or not. Do you think it's good that everything is monitored and they try to keep things safe, or do you disagree with that? So let's see what you should and you shouldn't do. So it says keep it legal. Xbox is available in all countries around the world. Don't build a club around drug use, for example, or underage drinking or stuff like that. Fair enough. Do your part to keep everyone safe. So we can't allow behaviour or content designed to exploit, harm or threaten anyone, children, adults or otherwise. For example, don't threaten someone with physical assault. Don't message others with homophobic slurs. Make a club grounded in ethnic hatred. Don't do any of these sort of things. Fair enough. Turn that spam into substance. It's great to be excited about growing your popularity and sharing all the cool things you do with Xbox. The best way to do that is producing amazing content, not through giveaways, asking for likes and followers or other inauthentic behaviour. The best way to gain a follower is be yourself. Don't offer prizes in exchange for followers. Use giveaways to increase likes and activity. Ask or demand that someone add or follow you. Repetitively message other players without their consent. So the thing I think is going to affect most people is the keep your content clean area. People enjoy all shapes and styles of content with Xbox. Everyone's tastes are different, and that's great. However, that doesn't mean absolutely anything goes. To keep the Xbox community welcoming and exclusive for everyone, some content must be avoided. Harassment and hate can take many forms, but none have to have a home here. To make the Xbox community a place where everyone can hang out and prevent people from feeling uncomfortable or unwelcome, we all need to be stewards. This means more than just not harassing other players. It means embracing them. It means saving those unsavoury jokes for people you know will enjoy them. It means take particular care of others while you play, keeping in mind how they may interpret your content. For example, don't make fun of other people's identities or personal traits. Don't send harassing or abusive messages. Use a club to shame other players or groups. Start a broadcast in order to troll someone. Flood voice chat with music during a multiplayer match. Post game clips that will offend many others. Know the difference between trash talk and harassment. We get it. Gaming can be competitive and interaction with other players can get heated. A little trash talk is an expected part of competitive multiplayer action. That's not a bad thing. But hate has no place here, and what's not okay is when trash talk turns into harassment. It includes any light-hearted banter or bragging that focuses on the game at hand and encourages healthy competition. That's fine. Harassment includes any negative behaviour that's personalised, disruptive or likely to make someone feel unwelcome or unsafe. To qualify as harassment, the behaviour doesn't have to be drawn out or persistent. Even a single abusive message could harm someone's experience. Know when to draw the line and back off. Acceptable trash talk. Get destroyed. Can't believe you thought you were on my level. That was some serious potato aim. Get wrecked. Whereas going too far. Get sexual threat. Can't believe you were on my level. Hey, profanity. That's some serious potato aim. Get wrecked. Trash. Cheap win. Totally expected from in this case, racial slur. So all of that is harassment. And what it's saying is, if you spot that, you can protect them by reporting it. So if you start doing those things, if it gets reported or detected by Xbox, you're in trouble. So, people can go and report people here, and it says be yourself, not at the expense of others. So don't use a gamer pick that shows real life graphic violence, make provocative religious comments, all this sort of stuff. It's all pretty common sense and fair enough, in my opinion. But I suppose you're going to have some people will say, hey man, you're infringing on my freedom of speech or my personal views and stuff like that. I suppose the thing you've got to bear in mind is you are using a company system, and that company has built a system where you can communicate with the rest of the world. So it's fair enough to say, look, don't use it in an abusive or aggressive or horrible way. And if you do, you're going to be struck from the system and could be banned entirely. So there you go, my friends. That's what I wanted to talk about. The new strike system. Do you think it's a good idea, a bad idea, etc.? What do you think of the community standards? Do they go too far? Do you think they're good? Do you like being protected by that as an Xbox user? I don't think Xbox are the only company that does this. I do like that Xbox sort of, I suppose, it takes a brave step to be slightly more confrontational about it and try to protect people more than perhaps they need to. I don't mind that because I don't like online abuse at all. I don't tolerate it on my YouTube channel. And I think there's too much horrible hatred out there, and abusive messages and that sort of stuff. So love to know your thoughts on it. Do let me know in a comment on here what you think of the new strike system and the community standards. Thanks for watching.